shocking diocese over the Galactic Council chamber was silent. Not the normal calm silence of politics, but a heavy silence filled with fear. Hundreds of alien leaders sat in floating seats, their eyes fixed on the massive holographic screen. This meeting was not planned. It was forced by something no one expected. The alert had come from an ancient deep space sensor, a device so old that many believed it no longer worked. For thousands of years, it had watched the dark edges of the galaxy without reporting anything important, but today, it screamed to life. On the screen, shapes appeared, dark and sharp against the stars. At first, the Council thought it was an error. Then the sensor confirmed it, again and again. These were ships, warships. They were massive, larger than most known battleships. Their armor reflected no light, as if space itself avoided touching them. Energy readings were high, far beyond standard military limits, and the most shocking part was their origin. They were human. A low wave of disbelief moved through the chamber. Humans were known, but not feared. They were traders, engineers, diplomats. They talked about peace, unity, and cooperation. Their fleets were small, defensive, and outdated by galactic standards. So how could this be? The data officer spoke with a shaking voice. These ships are not new. Sensor decay shows they have been hidden for centuries. Centuries. That single word changed everything. If humans had built these warships long ago, then their history was a lie, or at least, incomplete. The hologram zoomed in, showing symbols, carved into the hulls, not decorations, but warning marks. These ships were designed for war, survival, and long waiting. A council member from the Zalari race leaned forward, eyes narrow. "Why hide such power?" he asked. "No species hides weapons unless they expect a future enemy." Another leader replied, voice tense, "or unless they are already surrounded by enemies." The council reviewed old records, human colonies lost in border zones, trade ships that vanished without answers, warnings ignored because humans never complained loudly. They suffered in silence. The sensor data continued to update. The ships were positioned near key star routes, not attacking, not moving, just watching. Strategic placement, calm and patient. One analyst whispered a thought that made the room colder. "These are not ships of conquests. These are ships of preparation." The council realized a terrible truth. Humans did not build these ships in fear. They built them with patience. They waited, learned, adapted. While the galaxy looked elsewhere, an emergency vote was called. Some demanded immediate action. Others warned that provoking humans could awaken something unstoppable before any decision was made. A new symbol appeared on the screen. More ships. Even deeper in space, even older, even stronger. The chamber erupted in panic. Voices overlapped. Translators struggled to keep up. Fear spread faster than logic. Then the screen displayed a final line of data. Status, active but silent. Weapons, charged, but locked. The council fell quiet again. They finally understood. Humans were never weak. They were watching, waiting, and ready. And as the lights dimmed and the emergency meeting continued, one thought echoed in every alien mind. If humans hid this much power, what else were they hiding? Fear inside the COU in Seattle. The emergency lights in the Galactic Council chamber stayed dim. No one spoke for several long moments. The discovery from moments ago still pressed on every mind. Fear did not come loudly. It came slowly, quietly, like a shadow moving across the room. The oldest council members remembered something important. Humans had always acted calm, even when insulted. They accepted bad trade deals, unfair borders, and silent losses. Many races thought this meant humans were weak. Now that belief began to crack. A tall counselor from the Dravox Empire stood up, scales tight with tension. If humans hid warships for centuries, then they were preparing for something, he said. Or for someone. Another voice answered from across the chamber. Or they were preparing for us. The word us echoed. Several leaders shifted in their seats. Old actions returned to memory. Sanctions placed on human worlds. Military pressure near human borders. Ignored distress signals from distant human colonies. No one liked what they were remembering. The intelligence division displayed new data. Human ship movements from the past few centuries. Small fleets. Outdated weapons. Peaceful patrols. All of it looked real, honest. But now it felt like a mask. These secret ships never joined their public fleets, the analyst explained. They never responded to attacks. They never showed force. They stayed hidden, always hidden. A council member whispered, "That is not fear, that is control." Debate exploded across the chamber. Some demanded immediate military action. They feared that waiting would give humans the advantage. Others warned that attacking humans could activate the hidden fleets. No one knew how many ships existed. No one knew where they were all hidden. The idea of an unseen human armada terrified them more than any known enemy. A vote was suggested. Should the council send war fleets closer to human space? Should they show strength, or should they pull back and observe? Before the vote could begin, another update appeared. The human warships had not moved. They did not react to council debates. They did not power up weapons further. They remained silent. "That silence is the most dangerous part," said a council strategist. "If they wanted war, we would already be burning." The room grew colder with that thought. Historical records were brought up. Every major galactic war, every aggressive empire, they all announced themselves. They showed power early, loudly, proudly. Humans never did. They endured losses without public anger. They rebuilt without demanding sympathy. They advanced quietly, step by step. They were never behind us. A senior counselor finally said, they were simply walking a different path. Fear shifted into something deeper, respect mixed with regret. The council realized another painful truth. If humans had wanted revenge, these ships would not be waiting. They would already be attacking. Instead, they waited, watching the galaxy judge itself. As discussions continued, one conclusion became clear to everyone. Humans were not hiding because they were afraid. They were hiding because they were patient. And patience, combined with power, was the most dangerous weapon of all. As the chamber prepared to receive possible contact from humanity, a final thought settled into every mind. Humans were never behind. They were waiting. The human MESHAG, the Galactic Council, did not expect the message to arrive so soon. Many believed humans would stay silent for days, maybe weeks, but only hours after the debate began. The signal appeared. It did not force its way into council systems. It did not override channels or break protocols. It requested permission, calmly and politely. The request alone caused another wave of unease. When permission was granted, the chamber lights softened. A single human figure appeared on the central hologram. Not wearing armor, not standing on a warship bridge, just a simple uniform, clean and unmarked. The human stood straight, hands relaxed, face calm. "My name is Envoy Elias Rowan," the figure said. "I speak on behalf of the United Human Systems." No threat followed, no demand, no warning. This confused the council more than anger ever could. "We know you have discovered our hidden fleets," the envoy continued. "You deserve an explanation." Several council members leaned forward. Others prepared defense systems, just in case. The human envoy took a slow breath. "We did not build those ships to rule the galaxy. We built them to survive it." The words were simple, but they carried weight. The envoy explained human history, early expansion, hopeful colonies, then sudden losses, worlds destroyed at the edges of known space, trade ships disappearing without witnesses. "We asked for help," the envoy said. Most of the time, no one answered. The chamber remained silent, so we made a choice. We would not beg, we would not threaten, we would prepare. Images appeared behind the envoy, human scientists working in deep space, shipyards hidden inside dead stars, generations of humans, training, building, learning. "We learn patience from the stars," the envoy said. "They wait billions of years, and still burn bright." The council began to understand. This was not a story of fear, it was a story of discipline. One council member finally spoke. "Why? Reveal yourselves now." The envoy met the question without hesitation. "Because the galaxy is changing, new threats are moving in the dark, and silence alone is no longer enough." The hidden warships appeared on the screen again, but now their purpose felt different, not like knives, but like shields. "These fleets are defensive," the envoy said. "They do not fire first. They do not conquer. They wait until peace is in real danger." Some council members exchanged uncertain looks. Others felt something unexpected, relief. "We did not contact you to demand respect. We contacted you to offer cooperation." That word echoed through the chamber. Cooperation. The envoy ended the message with a final thought. "Power shown too early invites fear. Power hidden invites survival. But power shared at the right moment invites trust." The hologram faded. The chamber stayed silent. For the first time since the discovery, fear loosened its grip. The council realized something important. Humans were not standing above them. They were standing beside them. And as the council prepared to respond, one truth settled into every mind. Power hidden is stronger than power shown. The turning point, the Galactic Council, was still processing the human message when the alarms returned. This time, the warning was different. Sharper, faster, urgent. A new threat appeared on the holographic screen. Not human, not council, unknown. The object moved between stars without normal jump signals. Its energy signature was unstable, violent. Even the oldest council databases had no match. Fear returned, stronger than before. The council ordered scans. More data poured in. The unknown fleet was large, aggressive, and moving toward populated systems, directly toward council space. Confusion spread. This threat was never detected before. One analyst said, it was hiding even better than the human ships before the council could react. Something unexpected happened. Human warships moved without announcement. Without command from the council, the hidden fleets activated across deep space. Silent ships came alive, dark holes lit with controlled energy, precise, calm, disciplined. Many council members panicked. Are they attacking us? Voices shouted. But the human ships did not turn toward council worlds. They moved toward the unknown threat. The chamber fell into stunned silence. Human fleets formed clean battle lines. No wasted motion, no loud signals, only action. The unknown enemy reacted aggressively. Energy weapons fired wildly. Space burned with unstable light. The human ships responded with perfect timing. Defensive fields absorbed the first strikes, then focused counterattacks followed. Fast, controlled, devastating. Within minutes, the unknown fleet began to break. Their formations collapsed. Their weapons failed under precise human fire. The council watched in disbelief. This was not chaos. This was mastery. Human warships did not chase fleeing enemies. They neutralized only what was necessary. No destruction beyond the threat. Soon, the battlefield went quiet. Debris drifted where danger once existed. The human fleets powered down, weapons disengaged, and just like before, they stopped. No celebration, no message, no demand for recognition. The council systems were safe. Trade routes were secure. Billions of lives were protected. Only then did a human transmission arrive, short and clear. The threat has been removed. No action required from the council. Silence returned to the chamber. But it was no longer filled with fear. It was filled with understanding. Humans had acted without permission, yet they had not crossed any borders. They had not claimed victory. They had protected the galaxy, not to rule it, but to preserve it. Many council members felt something heavy settle in their hearts. Shame, respect. They had judged humanity wrong. As the council prepared to respond, one thought united them all. They were not being protected by conquerors. They were being protected by guardians. Amazement grips the Galactic Council. The Galactic Council gathered again. But this time, the mood was different. There was no shouting, no panic, no fear in the air. Only quiet respect. The unknown threat was gone. Trade routes were open. Worlds were safe. And every data report pointed to the same truth. Humanity had saved the galaxy. Council members reviewed the battle recordings in silence. Human ships moved with calm precision. No wasted fire. No cruelty, only purpose. These were not the actions of rulers, one elder counselor said. These were the actions of protectors. For the first time in galactic history, the council admitted a mistake. Humans were never weak. They were never behind. They had chosen restraint over noise, preparation over pride. A formal declaration was prepared. The United Human Systems were recognized as a Tier 1 galactic power, equal in strength, equal in voice. When the human response arrived, it surprised everyone. The message was short and humble. We accept partnership, not dominance. We will stand with the council, not above it. That single statement changed everything. Secret warships were no longer secret, but their purpose was clear. They would not patrol borders for control. They would remain in the dark, watching for threats that others could not see. The council archives recorded a new lesson for future generations. True strength does not announce itself, it waits. Younger species began to study human history more carefully. They learned about human patience, human loss, human endurance. They finally understood why humans survived where others fell. Humans did not seek revenge for past suffering. They did not demand payment for protection. They only asked that peace be protected together. As the meeting ended, the council chamber lights slowly brightened. Fear had been replaced by awe. The galaxy was no longer guarded by loud empires or cruel fleets. It was guarded by a species that learned to suffer in silence and prepare in shadow. And deep in the council records, one final line was written, a warning and a reminder: never judge a species by its silence, because the quiet ones are often the most ready.